What is up, you awesome kissers? It's CistReactZ guys. Today, guys, we are reacting to Five Nights at Freddy's, The Secret Afton, FNAF Security Breach. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to Game Theory, and comment down below. Let's get into this bop. It's by Game Theory, so we're about to get another theory out here. What was in his teeth? What am I watching, bro? Oh God, I always come back. Why is he out here flossing?
Embarrassing. I'm gonna let you guys have this one, and I'll see you next game. I always come back and
yeah, I knew he'd say it.
Did we just win?
No, we did not, superstar.
Tell me why that was actually Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to.
God, I still love that Security Breach intro he's got.
The nerdiest option available.
Anyone that picks Monty Golf is just a nerd.
Woo! Gator Golf. Joke's on you, Mark. Fazcam is OP. Plus, being a nerd allowed me to discover
Fazcam is OP.
daycare room and sister location room. So who's the nerd now? Me. It's still
Dang.
me. Last time we dove into the time travel ball pit that is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I
Let's
walked
see
away
this.
With some, let's just call them divisive conclusions.
Divisive
Basically, it's an
conclusions.
episode with three separate theories packaged together. We proposed one, that Glamrock Freddy wasn't just your average sentient animatronic, but rather was possessed by the spirit of Michael Afton doing everything he can to protect Gregory.
He
This one
sometimes
was,
comes
generally
back.
Well received, so cool, let's keep going. Why would Michael protect this random kid? Well, because two...
Not to be confused with his father's I always come
literally or
back.
Symbolically is Michael's younger brother, FNAF 4's crying child.
Ah, yes, that caused controversy.
At this point, but it was really
Yeah.
number 3
That one caused funny controversy.
There's a good bit of evidence in both the game
By the way, I
and
just gotta say something. Since y'all like to watch me watch MatPat, I might as well get all of y'all attention with this. First of all, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you're new. I make FNAF content every day. I read reaction requests. Second of all, why are y'all getting mad at MatPat for having a theory, like a theory about a video game? Why do people actually get mad over the Gregory slash Five Nights at Freddy's 4 crying child connection that he made? Like, guys, y'all gotta remember, at the end of the day, it's a theory. He's guessing. He's putting 2 and 2 together to make a what if situation. He's not saying this is the definitive answer, and he's never done that. It's just a theory, a fucking game theory. Like, come on, guys.
Of the franchise to
Jesus.
suggest that 3, Gregory is a robot. The crying child's consciousness literally transplanted into a robotic body sometime after he dies in the bite of 83. Oh, and there were a lot of strong opinions on that, with some people really liking the theory and others... not so much.
Yeah, see, I don't get
was
that.
flooded by
Like, why do people get
saying I
mad?
Rushed it out just to ride the trend, or that it was my dumbest theory ever, to which I say no.
You're dumb.
Deadpool is Ernest Hemingway is my dumbest theory ever. Closely followed by Wario being 10 feet
You-
tall. Anyway, the
The
outcry
dumbest
was
theory
so
ever?
huge that I ended up trending on Twitter because of it. You know, didn't get much better from there.
It
Weird
did
side
not.
note, later in the same week, I was trending again because a
Hey, it's
group of
Ultima.
performers juggled to the song Megalovania during an event for none other than the Pope. It only took 5 years, my friends, but it looks like that Steam code I gave him for Undertale finally paid off.
Oh my God.
Anyway, like I said, a lot of heated...
Wait, you gave him a Steam code for Undertale?
With Twitter basically boiling down this 18-minute long, 4,000-word theory
Dead
down to
ass?
this single image. So, yeah, thanks for not including literally anything else.
I must have heard that information before, but
Before we
forgot.
get to the next theory all about Vanessa, let me just address some of the biggest counterpoints I saw to the previous theory. Not because I'm convinced I'm right. Far from it, in fact.
Wait, what did he say?
Because I think...
Get to 11:45 for what?
So before we get to the next theory all about Vanessa,
For the connections between Baby and Vanessa, skip to 11:25.
let me just address some of the biggest counterpoints I saw to the
Is that the
previous
theory?
Not because I'm convinced I'm right, far from
Oh,
it, in
okay.
fact, but because I think that the Gregory is crying child theory currently fits the best with everything the game has presented to us thus far. First, one of the key pieces of evidence last episode was this line right at the start of the game where Freddy says to Gregory,
You're broken.
This
Yeah.
to me was a clear connection back to the crying child from FNAF 4 where psychic friend Fredbear says to him, you are broken. I mean, kinda speaks for itself. It's a parallel that's made stronger when you actually remember how that line gets delivered back in that game. There was really no way of knowing back when FNAF 4 was released, but thanks to a secret room found in Sister Location, we know that psychic friend Fredbear is actually a plushie with a walkie-talkie inside of him. A walkie-talkie that allowed William Afton to scare and manipulate his youngest son. Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Also know that
Worst
throughout
father
FNAF 4,
ever.
all of William's lines use use the color FFFF57, a bright
What?
golden yellow.
Y'all are
Golden
weird.
golden yellow.
Bro, y'all are so weird for knowing
By the
that.
lines of "You're broken," I will put you back together.
How do you know exactly what the color
A
scheme?
lighter yellow, FFFFA0. Back then, we never really came to a satisfying
How do y'all
explanation.
know
Was it-
these things?
Was it another spirit? Was it maybe the puppet? But now, 7 years of investigation later, we know for
That's
sure.
why I let the community
someone
just
else is indeed
do all the
talking
theorizing
here.
stuff
Someone
and
who,
searching.
in sister location, is mistaken for his dad. Someone who turns purple just like his dad. Someone
He got
who
everybody
can't
scared.
hide like his dad, and someone who had the lines immediately prior apologizing to his kid brother, but when that didn't get through, decided to try comforting him through the voice of his best friend. It's Michael Afton, represented by a lighter color of yellow, a color that symbolically connects him back to his father. In short, we have Michael Afton in FNAF 4 saying the line, "You're broken," to his brother through the voice of a Fredbear plush. And here in Security Breach, if we're right about all this, we once again have him saying the same line, "You're broken," to his brother through the voice of another Freddy, this time Glamrock Freddy. I personally think it's a really cool narrative connection between all these games. But a lot of people were quick to point out that there's dialogue in the game files that was cut from the final release.
I heard about
Freddy
this.
says that Gregory is bleeding. Specifically, he says,
Your arm is cut badly.
and
I am detecting blood. You are injured.
this, for many people, disproved that Gregory's an animatronic. And I actually have two things to say about
I
that.
mean,
First, when I've used
okay,
cut lines
would.
of dialogue in the past, the internet has in no uncertain terms told me that I can't. But now apparently it's okay. Kind of inconsistent there, guys. And honestly, I think cutting it, regardless of the
Wow. Ooh, he got a little aggressive with that one.
reason, shows that it didn't fit the final creative.
I could feel it in
But
his
anyway,
voice.
If that's the case, then I gotta bring this line up. A cut line of dialogue discovered by GB Aura Recharged in the game file.
He said, when I
This
do it,
one
y'all get
is
mad,
Freddy
but when y'all
saying,
do it, okay.
Gregory, I know why you're not in the customer database. I remember you from the...
And it cuts off. Obviously, it's
What?
vague. It's kept very intentionally vague. But it also shows that Gregory is special in a way that the other disappeared kids aren't. There's a reason he's not in the customer base. He's from somewhere specific that Freddy knows about. If I were to guess, I'd say like the underground pizzeria, but you know, that's
I
just
know
my
you
hypothesis.
from.
Adding to the Gregory is special idea is the fact that
Oh, he always got
Chica
cut stuff
knows
off.
his name. She calls it out in the middle of the pizzeria. Strange detail for a kid who supposedly has no records in the system. Secondly, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but in the books, because everybody loves when I go back to that well, animatronic children do actually bleed. They can also cry.
Oh my
and feel
God, did
cold.
she just put her
They
hand
can
through
feel hungry and eat.
his chest
You don't
like
even have
that?
to go to the books for that one. You can just see it with Chica's pizza obsession in Security Breach. So to tell me that a robot child can't bleed, I think you gotta really look at the franchise that we're talking about here. And for everyone who's
Oh
confused
God,
about the
I don't even
timeline of
remember what he
Crying
just put up
Child
on
still
screen.
being alive and the fact that he would be older at this point, that wouldn't actually be the case. Animatronic
robots
children
can
in the books
bleed?
stay at whatever age they're built to be. Charlotte Emily actually had 4 separate versions of herself built, one for each stage of her life. So that way she could grow older, but she would just assume a new animatronic body each time. So Crying Child still being young would actually make more sense here. And to everyone saying, why would he say stuff like,
Don't want to be crushed and twisted into a meat pretzel.
no, again, Charlotte in the books is shocked to learn her true nature in the final chapters. Her consciousness had been grafted onto a childhood toy while she was alive, and after her tragic death, had been placed inside of her robot body to function as her memory. So for all she knew, she was just a normal human being just like anyone else. Is it dumb? Yeah, I'll say that it is. Is it complicated? Oh yeah, absolutely. But is it giving us insight into the rules that Scott and everyone who touches this universe operate by? Yes, it undeniably is. Lastly, for everyone who spammed my feed with pictures of sad white boys in striped shirts saying that you had found a crying child, thank you for your help uncovering the lore. I get the joke. All white boys with brown hair and striped shirts are apparently the crying child. But remember what
dang.
series we're talking about here, friends. Visual design details
You went
have
back and talked
always
about
been
it.
an important part of figuring these games out. Take a look at Baby. During Sister Location, she has green eyes, but when you play her minigame, she has blue ones. At least until she kills Elizabeth Afton, who, lo and behold, had green eyes. Superficial design features like this help us to connect the dots. Are they the be-all and end-all of evidence? No, but they do help support an argument. So a little brown-haired boy in shorts with a shirt and 2 stripes seems sus.
Have you ever heard
Oh, he did
of
not just do
Among
that,
Us,
bro.
Gregory?
Speaking
Oh
of
my
eyes,
God.
for all the complaints about the last episode, no one seemed to have any answers to what I see as the 2 strongest pieces of physical evidence here. Why does Gregory look different when Freddy gets Roxy's X-ray eyes?
You look different to me.
And
Yeah, why does he look
secondly,
different?
Why does Gregory's vision glitch when he sees Vanny? Why does he have such a weird visual reaction to her and to literally no other character?
Yeah, because he can see Vanny normally, or Vanessa normally.
As Vanny skips and gets closer.
Jesus.
It seems to be a disruptor.
I never let her get
that
close,
makes
so I didn't notice the
invisible
high-pitched sound.
animatronics with older model eyes. In the fire ending, Freddy, who couldn't see her at any point in the game, explicitly says,
I can see you now. I have new eyes.
I mean, this is exactly how the much-hated sound illusion discs from the books work, creating a high-frequency sound to make people and robots invisible and or look differently, but I'm already fighting a losing battle over here, so I'm just gonna gloss over that one. Anyway, to me, it reads as Gregory's robotic eyes being disrupted. I mean, why have CRT lines?
Yeah, Matt's got a lot of aggression this time.
Type of filter to show that his vision is getting disrupted.
I don't blame him though.
In
People
fact,
always get
why
mad over
have the
theories. I don't know why.
same CRT lines as the security cameras all around the Pizzaplex. But there's one final piece of evidence I'd like to talk about to help solidify that previous theory before we move on. And that is the screenshot here of the final scene from the Savior ending, where you rescue Vanny from the controller glitch trap. And I use quotation marks here because there aren't any official sources giving names to the various endings. In the game files, they're just labeled as S1, S2, and S3 based on the number of stars that you get for them. It is worth noting, though, that this is
There's
the
stars?
only
I didn't even know
three-star
that. So my
ending
game
that
glitched
currently
near the
exists,
credits
which seems
when I
to imply
played.
that it has some level
Go watch
of
the videos
importance.
if you haven't.
But here we see our three main characters, Gregory, Freddy, and Vanessa, all sitting on a hill, which, as I pointed out last time, is very similar to the FNAF 6 gravestone hill. But that's not what's important here. What I want to point out is the ice cream.
Now that I think
Gregory is holding a golden Freddy-shaped ice
Now that I think about it, yeah, it kind of makes me mad that I don't even know that there's stars in the game, because when I reached this, not this ending, when I reached the Afton ending, like, I got killed by the blob while the game was going in credits. I had no control of the situation. Like, ugh.
with part of its head bitten off. If Gregory is not meant to parallel back to the crying child in any way, shape, or form, then this detail
That's
is
revenge.
just mean and irresponsible. This
Yeah.
ice cream is the crying child's story coming full circle. He was
I think-
terrified of animatronics and ended up being
Actually, I think I seen Matt post that on my Twitter. Follow my Twitter down below if you haven't, by the way. I posted under it like, God, Gregory has to be the most like passive aggressive kid ever, if that's an actual like Fredbear reference and linking him back to the Bite of 87.
by the Golden Freddy.
Like, he's biting the
Sprint suit, but
popsicle
now
head saying,
he's
like-
the one sitting on a hill taking
Yeah.
a big old bite out of Golden Freddy.
Now he's the one
That is
taking the
not me
bite.
Reading too much into this, that is me lightly interpreting a very clear image that was put directly into this game by the designers. It is barely even subtle. And despite him wearing a blue shirt in most of the endings, here his shirt is colored purple, just like his father's signature color. Couple that with literally everything else, his lack of records, the fact that he goes into the charging
404.
station. So I stand by my theory that Gregory is an animatronic of the crying child. Is it a perfect answer? No. Do I love the fact that it complicates the lore even more? No. But does it answer the most questions with the evidence that we have? I believe it does. And it's a heck of a lot better than Fazgoo. But now,
Fazgoo.
4 pages into this episode, let's actually stop to talk about
Man,
Vanessa,
wrote a whole
shall
script.
we? Last episode I made a passing
Yeah, let's talk about
this
Vanessa.
final image felt to me like the 3 Afton children getting reunited. Crying child, Michael, and Elizabeth Afton. William's daughter that done got scooped by baby back in sister location.
Uh-oh, my headphones are
It's a scene
dying.
that, to me, feels like the narrative finally giving them a sense of closure after they quite literally die as a result of their dad's evil deeds. Last time I briefly made mention of Vanessa's blonde hair and green eyes, which is the same as Elizabeth. And here, in this ending, we actually see 2 scenes of her wearing the signature Afton purple. Even the ice cream cone, as opposed to something like Gregory's novelty pop, is a potential callback to her death, where baby delivered an ice cream cone to her before she did the scoop. And when you look at the connections between these 2 characters, it's more than just a couple of visual similarities. The biggest secret in Security Breach right now is a series of 16 retro CDs, invisible collectibles that only Freddy can see, hidden
The
in every
Therapist
obscure
discs.
corner of the game's
Wait,
map.
Freddy can only see
Then,
him?
To play these
didn't know that
things,
part.
you actually need to have also found the secret sister location room that we talked about last time. Now, these CDs are, they're problematic. They open up a whole
Problematic.
separate can of worms. They're recordings of therapy sessions sessions following two separate individuals, Patient 46 and Patient 71. The exact identity of Patient 46 is a theory for next time that will absolutely launch us into yet another flame war, but early in Patient 71's tapes, we learned that it's actually Vanessa speaking.
Hello, Vanessa. How are you feeling today?
These are recordings from therapy sessions that Vanessa had while she was at the job for the FNAF AR game's special delivery. She mentions speaking to a man named Lewis on several occasions, and we discover that she's also buying fake fur, both of which are things that we see in emails from FNAF AR. By the
Fake
last
fur.
of Vanessa's recordings,
So
she's
weird.
leaving that job for a new job somewhere else, most likely the job of security guard here in Security Breach.
I'm needed somewhere else now.
But let's dive into the good stuff, shall we? In Vanessa's second
Lore
tape, we learn about
nuggets?
a custody battle that happened between her parents. Her dad won using manipulative tactics, forcing his daughter to falsely testify.
Your dad made you follow instructions, didn't he? I'm talking about the custody battle between your mum and your dad. Your dad didn't play fair, did he? He used to make your mum look bad in court.
After losing custody of her daughter, Vanessa's mother, well, here's what the tape does.
I know your mum after she lost the custody case.
It glitches, implying that her mother ended her own life, which
Oh,
would
dang.
explain why Mrs. Afton is missing from all the games, and why she may have wound up being rebuilt as the motherly Ballora in Sister Location. A robot that, wouldn't you know it, sings about her inescapable depression now that the walls of her house are empty.
All I see is an empty room. No
You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, holy crap.
We also hear Vanessa lines like this.
Oh, you like those? Apparently, the janitor on this floor has a garden and has been putting bouquets in the offices here for years.
Vanessa likes flowers. A small detail, but you know me, small details could often be the biggest evidence. Who else do we know in the series that has an affinity for flowers? Well, think back to FNAF 4.
The crying
Remember
child's
this
room?
Random empty bedroom with a
Oh!
huge portrait of a flower on the wall?
Oh!
Elizabeth's room before
Makes
she got
sense.
scooped. Then you have Vanessa lines like this.
Lots of people know more.
I was
than
mangle in
do,
that room, by the
so
way.
it's time to listen.
Now, this might be a stretch, but I believe it's referring to when Elizabeth got scooped by Baby. Her dad had repeatedly and explicitly warned her not to go near Baby, but she didn't listen. And in doing so, she ended up getting herself trapped inside the animatronic.
Don't tell Daddy that I'm here. I wanted to watch your show too. I don't know why he won't let me come see you. You're wonderful.
Vanessa also says
Now
in
do you
the tapes that
understand
she
why he
like
doesn't?
dark basements.
I have a craft space in my basement. Maybe I could come up with something you could learn to do. I don't like dark basements.
It's another line that seems to be pointing us in the direction of Baby, who is trapped underground for years in Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals, looking for a way back to the surface.
I've been out before, but they always put me back. They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for
I forgot
us
that
to
line.
hide here. There is nowhere
Just
to
that
go.
one tiny line I forgot. I've been out before. She got out?
Final nail in
Dang,
the coffin,
man.
right back
That was
in the
FNAF
17th,
knowledge.
we
Leave-
actually learned the name of Vanessa's father.
Leave my
I
brain
feel like I know
slipping.
your dad too. Bill, right?
Bill is short for William. That's just the game trolling us with a coincidence, right? Wrong. You see, going back to FNAF AR,
Coincidence?
we learned that
I
Vanessa's
think
last
not.
name begins with an A. From there, we can
What?
connect the dots. Bill A, William Afton. But didn't Baby
didn't know that.
burn at the end of FNAF 6? Well, yeah, she did. But you see how effective that was.
Yeah.
How are you not dead? I mean, to be fair, the thought that burning him is going to work is stupid, because people have tried to burn him to death no less than 3 times in this franchise.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
At the end
I
of
would think that the
Baby,
remnant
we
would get burned out. I don't
a
know.
tentacle monster made up of all the original members of the series. FNAF
Burning
1's
just
Chica's
doesn't
body,
work.
FNAF 2's Mangle,
Dismantling them
Sister
doesn't
Location's
work.
One-Time Freddy, a
Wait,
random
actually, hasn't William Afton actually succeeded in dismantling and freeing the souls? So why didn't Henry just do that? And I think Henry knew that he went back to the FNAF 1 location and did it. Because I swear to God, he said in the audio tape as Cassette Man, like, he went back and took the last thing that they had. Or something of that
skeleton
effect.
crawling out of the bottom, the puppet mask without tears, I might point out, and Baby's face. Now, don't get me started on this being Baby's original face and not Scrap Baby's updated look where she came back to FNAF 6 in. I have words about that. Anyway, look at them all here on screen. You notice anything strange? Most
Yeah.
of the animatronics
Eyes are red.
lit up. Funtime Freddy, Chica, Mangle, even this random...
Poor
endless
Chica. That means they're in there
But
still,
now
right?
Take a look back at Baby's mask. The eyes are blacked out. So So although the blob has absorbed Baby's body during the burning down of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place, her spirit, the spirit of Elizabeth Afton, is no longer present. It is unaccounted for. It is on the loose.
God, I feel
As
bad for the
such,
ones stealing
potentially
classic
at
Chica,
large
though.
in the game. Is she in
That goes
some
back
way
a long
Vanessa?
time.
And if so, how? The truth is, I don't know. This game has got my brain in so many knots. I might
Yeah.
as well be a sailboat.
Needs to be a lot of DLC. Can't believe they cut a lot of content, though.
Point in time. But I do know that this is what the evidence is
It's a shame.
heavily pointing
Still a good game.
towards. The design similarities, the missing spirit, the purple color, the ice cream, the voice lines, the personality traits, and again, the narrative theme of 3 Afton kids reuniting and moving on after a traumatic past. It gives everyone this nice full circle ending, even if it's only meant to be symbolic. And the screen really does feel like it's the end, finally, for these 3 characters. Maybe next time we'll finally see some new faces. So enough about them. We're moving past those 3. There's still other mysteries that we have to solve here. What happened to Glamrock Bonnie? Who is Patient 46 and why are they here? What's
Patient
the deal with that room full of
46?
Post-it notes? Yeah, you forgot about that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's important. And did you happen to notice the other missing animatronic from this game? Because I
Bonnie?
certainly did, and I think they might be hiding in plain sight. So next time we get to cover some mysteries that don't require us talking about dead characters getting rebuilt into robots. Scratch that.
Jesus.
We're talking about William Afton. That's kind of unavoidable at this point. Oh, this franchise is so ridiculous. Anyway, next time we're gonna
Yeah,
sweep
there's
up a
so
few
many
other
story
mysteries
elements.
as we try to make more sense out of the game that quite literally threw everything against the wall to see what would stick. Speaking of things sticking on
Dang.
walls, why don't you spice up your decor with some 80s
Ah, you tried it. Anyway, dang, I just hit my freaking leg on the desk. I guess that was karma. Anyway, guys, that was the Game Theory Five Nights at Freddy's, the secret Afton FNAF security breach. If you guys want more Five Nights at Freddy's security breach content or game theory content, make sure you guys smackety smack that like button, comment down below, subscribe for more quick history today, and turn on all notifications, and I will see y'all later. Peace out.